Good morning, everybody. It's the Rob from Kiss106 and 103GBFRocks.com. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting, Mr. Monster in the Bank, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Yowie, wowie, Rob.
That's actually what I named the video today.
Yowie, wowie. I hope it just says yowie, wowie.
It doesn't say yowie, wowie. It says something like Bray Wyatt debuts terrifying new look on.
I love that he's been saying yowie, wowie is like the cheesy gay, like kids show guy. And then like the scariest thing I've ever seen and he's like, yowie, wowie. Like yowie, wowie works on all levels of this terror spectrum that we're dealing with.
It's actually extremely effective horror production, in my opinion.
It's incredible because truly, if you make a misstep when doing something like this, it could go from scary and effective to corny and wrestle crap.
100%. That was a great way to sum up the potential here.
So far, so good.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing it 2 minutes at a time, which is probably smart, but they're making it just like a 2 minute, like, it's like, it's also psychological, but like also visually terrifying. At least last night's was like, man, I'm really dying to see where this goes.
I love it. And you know, he's doing something that we've complained about someone else not doing. Now we haven't seen him wrestle yet. And I wonder if he'll ever wrestle as Bray Wyatt, you know, the Firefly Funhouse guy, and also wrestle as that yowie wowie monster, kind of like Finn Balor does with the Demon. But a complaint you and I have always had is when Finn Balor transforms into the Demon, the only thing that really changes is the entrance and the paint, but the in-ring psychology never really seems to change. I think with Bray Wyatt, everything will be different.
So I have a picture of Bray Wyatt's mask because it wasn't on very long last night.
Oh, it's Slipknot worthy. That thing was good.
But I'm realizing now, something's just hitting me now as I'm looking at it. Wasn't there a rabbit that died last week?
Yes, Ramblin' Rabbit died, but Ramblin' Rabbit was kind of patched together in this one. Like you saw Ramblin' Rabbit in the beginning of this when they found everybody, and he was all wrapped up and his eye was bandaged shut.
Because it kind of looks like a Donnie Darko rabbity type mask.
Okay, I haven't looked at it other than like in real time, and I've watched it twice, and it looked very clowny to me, with the pants and everything.
Yeah,
like evil Pennywise type clown.
Yeah, but it's got kind of like I said, just the best way I can describe it is like a Donnie Darko rabbity kind of thing going on too. So I don't know.
I'm in, and I wonder. You think when he comes to the ring, he's coming out to the Firefly Funhouse theme? That'll be even scarier.
I don't know where you go from here or how you get. See, that's the thing is I don't know where they're going, and I don't know how they plan on getting there. But I can tell you that you've got me right now. Like right now, I think you've got all of us. Like I'm not seeing anyone say this is not good.
You know how we talked about last week, multiple places disagreed with us on the revival and gave certain things F's and D's, and we gave stuff B's and A's. This time, I would give this an A, and I'm seeing A's across the board.
Yeah, I'm only seeing positive things, and to be honest with you, I really only care about what like our group has to say about this. But I feel like everyone's given this 2 thumbs up.
Well, I'm paying attention to what everyone's saying, because if everyone, even like the mainstream, likes it, that's good news, because then it'll keep going. I mean, God, think of the cool stuff that they did with The Undertaker and some of the smoke and mirrors that they employed there. And we're talking 90s and early 2000s when the tech and the stage tech was rudimentary and primitive compared to what it is now. Like they could really, if they spend some money, they could really do some cool stuff with this.
One thing that I also want to say, and this is just from what I'm gathering, obviously I don't know anything, but I feel like Bray is also invested in this. In fact, he may be even involved in the writing of it. I don't know.
Sure feels like it. Sure feels like he's taken hold of it. I mean, he's all in. I mean, it's really showing his chops, and he looks like he's in better shape than he was before.
I don't know that we've even had enough to really go off of. Like, I haven't really seen like a body shot that I can recall, but sure, whatever.
He seems massive. Like the threads are ripping on those sweaters. He just seems bigger, broader. I don't know. We'll see.
So what did you think of the show overall? I can tell you that the place I get my recaps from was really happy with it. I was not so much, although I didn't think it was a bad show. What were your thoughts?
Yowie wowie, pal. I thought, here we go. It's another UK show. You know, I kind of buckle up for them to not be so good. But it was okay. It moved along quickly, at least. From what I felt. It was as fast a 3-hour Raw as we've gotten in a while. I enjoyed
That's complimentary.
I enjoyed the Becky Lynch stuff. I thought the Braun Strowman stuff made a lot of sense. You know, you get him out of that match, and the way they screwed him over with Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre, it makes sense that they would want him out of that match. So for them to get involved with the Sami Zayn thing, it makes sense. Kind of makes that Money in the Bank ladder match less predictable, I think.
I agree. No, actually, I think it makes it. I don't know. I guess I can see it from both ways.
Well, you think now it's predictable in the sense that Braun Strowman's going to get involved and Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre are not going to win this thing.
I was thinking that Braun was high on my list of potential winners.
Yeah, I think he was on everybody's, and now it's less predictable because he's out of it.
Okay, but I also don't think he was my number one choice. So in that sense, it makes it easier to predict.
I guess it makes it hard for me because I think the person that screwed. I mean, I made no secret of it when you interviewed the guy. I thought Drew McIntyre was the next big push. I thought he was going to be the Money in the Bank, but now it seems like there's a real opening for Braun to come and screw him out of it. And so now it opens it all wide open for me again.
It also makes you wonder. See, I haven't really critically analyzed this yet. I was going to do that for our next episode, or our predictions episode, I should say. Is there a reason they're crowbarring Sami Zayn into this?
Yeah, I mean, he would be a good pick. I always look at Money in the Bank as in who would be awesome to carry that thing around. Who, and they've chosen poorly the last couple of times.
Jared, what a great comment that was too, because I mean, if you're going to look at it from that point of view, Sami Zayn is a great choice.
He's so obnoxious, and now you've given him the most obnoxious thing to carry around and wave in people's faces and remind, like, I could ruin your show tonight.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
That is a very, very great observation that I didn't really give a lot of thought into. Like I said, I haven't given it a ton of thought. I plan on doing that before our predictions episode, but yeah, you're not wrong about that. I mean,
I thought that a couple times. I thought the one year they should have given it to The Miz and they gave it to Sheamus. I thought one year Samoa Joe would be amazing with the thing, and they gave it to Braun or Baron Corbin that year, and I'm like, oh, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Which shows that they also don't always book like that. So who knows? Well,
the last two winners did not cash in successfully. So,
oh, that's true too. What you had, Braun and Baron, right?
Yeah. Although I noticed a couple weeks back when they were all in the ring, Braun was in the ring, Baron was in the ring, ton of people in the ring, and they were all making fun of Baron Corbin for failing the cash in. No one mentioned the Braun cash-in fail.
Was Braun making fun of him?
Yes.
I didn't even put that together. That's very funny.
Nobody mentioned it. It's like, we're just going to ignore it because that was really a Brock Lesnar thing.
All right. So let's talk about what else happened pretty big on Raw last night. What you liked the Becky. See, my thing about Raw was it was an okay go-home show. It did it kind of just like reinforced all the matches. Like, it didn't make me a whole lot more interested in any match, but it got me like, it just kind of fortified and strengthened the angles a little bit.
Absolutely. Didn't hurt anything at all. Especially with the Becky Lynch thing. I really like how they stacked the odds against her. It wasn't we've seen her and Charlotte so much, they found a way to make that more interesting by adding a second defense that night for her. And they also made her and Lacey interesting because normally I think everyone would think Becky would just cut through Lacey Evans like pea through snow. But she's got 2 fights that night, and she's up against it. I like it.
One of the reasons why you're so good. Most people would probably go like a warm knife through butter, but Jerry cuts through things like pea through snow. God bless you.
How many times have you written your name? And when you write your name in pea in the snow, do you put the before Rob? I hope you do.
Always, pal. Always.
The Rob, and you got to pinch it in between words.
Yeah, I give it a nice. I don't pinch with my fingers. I clench.
Oh, you do the Kegels.
Yeah,
Kegels are great.
Thank you, pal.
Hey.
Happy birthday. Who do we have today?
Oh, we'll find it. I don't have it yet. I didn't think we needed it just yet.
It's okay. What else happened from Raw that's really worth talking about? Let's see.
I like it's funny. I like Ricochet matches. That's a note I made. I just wrote, I like Ricochet matches.
I do too.
I'm not invested in his character. There's no story to speak of, but I like his matches.
I agree. On both of those. There's nothing there character-wise yet, but his matches are great, so we're halfway there. Also, I thought that Mysterio and Cesaro, predictably so, had a wonderful match. Yeah.
Did you hear this thing about Sheamus this week?
No.
He retired, pal.
Stop. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you see that?
That's the news that I saw. Let me double check it, but...
No, you're probably right. I have been... I don't know if I want to say I've been slipping on following my news, or I feel like the website I go to is sometimes faulty lately. It's okay. I believe you.
Yeah, they're saying it's an impending retirement due to an injury. They think that it's his last. The word is that WWE is saying you're not doing it again.
I'm not sad about that. I hate saying it. I wish it was under different terms, but not a guy I ever appreciated on my TV screen.
I did like the Cesaro match. Here's a question for you, pal. Sheamus, WWE Hall of Famer.
I mean, at this point, if the bar is Coco Beware, then yeah. If the bar is a traditional Hall of Fame, then no.
Well, that's my question is forget what their bar is. Would you put him in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Am I employed by WWE or am I just a guy here in Evansville?
It's you. You could be employed by the WWE. It's your choice. You get to pick who goes in, who doesn't. You have the list of every wrestler that's not in it. And at some point you see Sheamus's.
I mean, he's a multi-time world champion.
You don't like him though.
Yeah, that's a great way to sum it up. He's a multi-time world champion that I don't like.
Would you put Tennessee Lee in first?
No.
Would you put Dr. Death Steve Williams in?
Not before Sheamus, probably.
Vader?
Yes.
Zack Ryder?
No.
Happy birthday, Tennessee Lee, Dr. Death Steve Williams, Vader, and Zack Ryder.
I was enjoying that for a second. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm just going down the list, and it gets more interesting. Kevin Von Erich. Yeah, sure, I guess.
He's already in.
Ugly.
Damn body shamer.
And then the rest of them are in. Farouk's in, right? Ron Simmons is in there.
Yeah, I believe Ron is in.
The Godfather. Do they ever put refs in there? We're coming up on Earl Hebner's birthday.
Earl's not going in.
You don't think?
He left on bad terms.
Do you know
the story? Do you know the story of his exit?
No, but I'm surprised after he did the Montreal Screwjob.
Well, yeah, but he was doing some other bad stuff.
Oh, I don't know that whole story.
You don't know the story?
I don't.
He was, according to the rumor and innuendo, he was involved in bootlegging WWE merchandise. Meaning he was helping run, like he was printing, those guys who sell like fake concert tees in the parking lot?
Yeah, $5 for a Steelers shirt,
Yeah.
and you've got Calvin and Hobbes peeing on a Browns logo.
Look, you can't have one of your own employees doing that, right?
So he did those?
Allegedly, he was involved in a scheme like that.
Some of those unsanctioned shirts are really funny, though.
What do you mean?
I remember one. I was at a Steelers game in Cleveland, and they were selling shirts that said Ben Roethlisberger raping chicks and throwing picks, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, who's gonna wear that one?"
I think in Cleveland, it's probably not hard to find someone who would. Or if you can't find it, sell them in Philly. Someone in Philly will be happy to.
Sure, they would. Yep.
Someone in Philly who would buy that shirt's already probably wearing one that's worse.
Or they throw, and if they don't like your shirt, they'll throw batteries at you. They booed Santa.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, man.
We threw yellow snowballs at him.
Sure.
What else from Raw is worth talking about? It opened with Miz TV with Roman Reigns. By the way, I may have to issue a retraction. I'm getting the vibe now because you asked me, I believe, on the SmackDown recap episode, if the wild cards. I said I thought my understanding of them that I got from the show was that it could be rotating names.
I kind of thought so too.
And I think that it eventually will become rotating names, but the vibe I got from the show last night was those are the 4 rotators.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's helping them tell stories leading up to the pay-per-view. It may change every pay-per-view cycle.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's
depending on the matches they're trying to promote.
I think that it's going to change whenever it's convenient for them.
I just can't wait for it to change back away from Shane McMahon being on both shows.
I think that following this Miz match, I think that we'll hopefully start seeing less of him.
Is this the last match they have? So it was Falls Count Anywhere, and now it's a cage match. And the way they've done cage matches in the WWE, they almost never solve anything. Like, I'm waiting for one more stip match with those two, like a Hell in a Cell or something.
Man, I just watched my favorite cage match of all time. And it was on the SummerSlam, the 30 Years of SummerSlam DVD, which I'm currently inside of.
Yeah.
So, by the way, if you've not seen this DVD, the presentation is unlike any other DVD in that, remember how, and I've always missed these because when I started watching wrestling, it was kind of the waning days of these. Remember how they used to have the SummerSlam report, which would be like they'll go to Mean Gene back in like the truck.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you what matches you can expect. Even if SummerSlam's a month away, you can expect to see Rick Rude take on the Ultimate Warrior in a steel cage, and he'll get you hyped, and they'll show interviews and stuff.
Right. And that's one of my favorite cage matches of all time, Ultimate Warrior and Rick Rude.
So on disc 1, Mean Gene Okerlund is the host. And the first 3 matches he does a SummerSlam report for. And so the first match is Honky Tonk Man versus Ultimate Warrior. The second match is Demolition versus the Hart Foundation. And the third match is Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog. And they go to like all in one like little segment. They cut to like interviews and like the background feuds of those 3 matches. Then they play the matches. So then the disc is halfway over because there's 6 matches on each disc, it looks like. And he comes back with another SummerSlam report and previews the next 3 matches. The next of which is, of course, my favorite match of all time, which happened to be a steel cage match at SummerSlam. And that's Bret and Owen Hart, the match that made me a wrestling fan. And it's just such a cool presentation.
What year was that? 94?
Yeah.
94.
5 stars by the Wrestling Observer and by this guy.
Was that still in the blue? That wasn't the blue cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
So was it still?
Yeah, we still had years with the blue cage. The blue cage didn't come along until like 98. I'm sorry, the chain link cage didn't come along until like 98.
As Bruce Pritchard puts it, it didn't come along until Vince started taking bumps.
Yeah, well, that 98 St. Valentine's Day Massacre, it was black. They spray painted black, but it was still the big blue solid steel cage. And then by Breakdown or Judgment Day or whenever Rock, Ken Shamrock, and Mick Foley had that triple threat match in the cage, it was the chain link fence one.
I I understand that it's less forgiving and hurt more and you could do less with it. But growing up the way I did, I love the blue cage. The blue cage is my favorite of all cages.
You'll never change my mind on this. You're 100% right.
Right. I would love it if we could go back to just one time, have another blue cage match.
And black is also fine, but I still prefer blue. The black one got the job done.
I want the blue. I mean, it reminds me of Ultimate Warrior and Rick Rude. It reminds me of Big Boss Man and Hulk Hogan on Saturday night's main event.
Sure.
Like it's just.
It seemed more big league to me. Like anyone, you can walk. You're probably within a mile right now of a chain link fence.
Yeah.
You know, and it just looked better on television. That big blue cage just looked major league to me.
It did, and it made it easier for some guys to climb. Like everybody could climb it a little easier. It didn't look so clunky.
It looks easier to climb. Sure, I wouldn't want to get my head rammed into it, but you can work that pretty easily.
Absolutely. Like I like the door and crushing it on people, and I don't know. There'd be a way to work it now, I think, but who knows?
I agree. But anyway.
Well, and the toys. Evan, it was 3 years ago. Evan got a wrestling ring toy from Santa. And it was a WWE ring, and it came with a cage, and they still give you a big blue cage.
That makes me happy.
They know it. They know it's the cage to have. They're just trying to make it safer.
Stupid safer.
Although you can't tell me you're trying to be safer when you're giving me the Elimination Chamber. There's nothing safe about that thing.
That's a good point. See, that looks major league. It looks better than just a steel fence that people have in their backyard. Yeah,
that's why cage matches don't really do it for me anymore. And what got us started about this is the fact that Shane and Miz are going into a cage. And I don't know, the way the WWE has presented it for the longest time, it's just a Hell in a Cell without a top, which means people are going to get into it. Shenanigans are going to happen.
Curious if anyone watching prefers the chain link fence cage. I can't imagine anyone disagrees with us, but if you do, I'd love to hear why.
I promise you this. If you disagree with us and you disagree and you like the chain link, we will not beat you up. We will not hammer you or make you feel stupid. Because you're too far gone. You should already feel stupid. But no, I'm kidding. But I really want to hear like your reasoning for why you don't like. It's got to be for safety, right? It's got to be for the guys.
Well, maybe you like that backyard feel or that urban feel to maybe it feels more like a street fight when it's in a cage that you could literally see on a street. I don't know.
If you want it to be more backyardy, then put a trampoline at ringside and start hitting each other with fluorescent light bulbs.
What else do we have?
I don't know. I'm looking at it. They're doing more stuff with the Revival and the Usos.
How come I don't remember that? I watched the whole show and I remember them recapping the Revival and the Usos. What happened new last night?
It was small. They just sent a warning to the Usos. I blocked it. Like I was half paying attention to that. And then there was also stuff with Mojo Rawley.
He had a match. He won over Apollo.
So I follow WWE.com and I go there because I've noticed they put a lot of stuff on their exclusives. So after that match, the WWE.com exclusive is Mojo Rawley was walking down a crazy blue hallway and he caught his reflection in the glass and started cutting a promo on himself and screaming and crying.
I'll tell you, one guy he cut a promo on in Evansville was Steve. Steve got under Mojo's skin for real.
Oh, yeah. Tell the story.
And so, I don't even remember the kind of stuff Steve was yelling at him, but we were close enough that Mojo was reacting to it. And so he starts yelling at me for some reason. So I just point at Steve. I'm like, it's him saying all this stuff. Don't kick my ass. And that happened like 3 or 4 times, to be honest with you. Steve did a really good, and Steve wasn't that guy who's like, yelling at everybody and trying to get under people's skin and yelling the real stuff or whatever. Steve just picked on, Mojo was the guy Steve had a feud with, and Mojo was happy to feud right there along with them.
I love having feuds with guys.
Yes, it can get fun.
So was he heel heating it up, or was he like getting legit under my skin?
I would say it was mostly heel heat, but there might have been a little bit of legit, please stop being mean to me, Steve. Heat.
It all depends on like how personal Steve gets.
I don't remember Steve like talking about his wife or kids or anything, but I just remember.
Oh, that's not what I meant. I meant personal, like making fun of his gimmick and making fun of, you know, his work rate or something.
Yeah, well, he would do that kind of stuff. I don't know. It didn't seem Mojo. I feel like, you know, they want to do stuff with him, but they just can't commit. It's so weird.
I wonder if I can find information on his wife and kids real quick.
Well, we've lost Jerry. Do you have it? Are there any shows? Are they coming to State College anytime soon?
I keep hearing in the fall, but it's not confirmed.
Fall.
In the fall. And they only bring. He doesn't have a wife and kids, or I'd be all over him. We never get real shows. We get house shows.
Well, that's what this was.
We only get house shows. I've got to go to Evansville to get SmackDowns.
Well, you're invited, pal.
I want to come for a Raw. I haven't seen Raw for the longest time.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
It was with you.
No, it was later than that. We determined this. We've been through this once before.
Yeah, we're not dancing this one.
I want to say it was like 07-ish, if I'm not mistaken, but I might, whatever.
Sure,
anyway,
doesn't matter.
I don't know how much more I had to talk about from the show.
I mean, yowie wowie, pal. That's really the hard hitting part, and I think we're going to see them, not in vignette form. I think we're going to see Bray Wyatt at Money in the Bank.
Really?
Yowie wowie.
Yowie wowie. Look at that. So that's your prediction. We're going to see him.
I think so. I just don't know who you're going to put him against. I mean, where do you put him first?
Well, let me ask
the best one to go after first.
Let me ask you this. What do we do with Braun Strowman now?
I mean, I think that we're going to have Braun. Oh, God, I hate to say it out loud, but I think we're still going to get Braun and Corbin or Braun and McIntyre.
One-on-one?
I feel like it.
Money in the Bank?
They keep just dancing around. Oh, I just thought you meant in the future.
No, I mean at Money in the Bank now that he's not on the card.
I think he's going to show up in the ladder match. I think he's going to show up and wreck people.
So no sanctioned match, though?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then couldn't that be Bray, too? Just kind of shows up and does something, not a sanctioned match?
Sure.
Who do we move him along with?
I don't know. That's my question. It's like, who is the best one to work him with right now? And by the way, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star has never been scarier ever.
That was awesome.
Yowie wowie.
I wonder who could be a good potential first opponent. Okay, I got it.
That's today's question. That could be today's question.
I got it. You ready? It's a good answer.
Hit me.
Matt Hardy.
He's not the hurt one, is he?
No, Jeff is.
Just come out because I mean it all happened in the Lake of Reincarnation. Come out and just destroy Matt Hardy and be done with it.
Last time we saw Bray, he was like wasn't he a tag team champion with Matt?
The leader of worlds.
Yeah, I think that might be a starting point. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but I think that you're not. I do think you're wrong. I do. I think it's a great idea, but I think that they've retired the Hardys for a bit.
No. I know the Hardys are retired. I'm talking about Matt.
I think they're both off TV.
Who makes more sense to start Bray with?
I don't know. I'm racking my brain.
So tell me a better name, and then I'll say you're right or you're wrong.
Braun's a pretty good one.
You think he's going to start off against Braun?
Because he was in the Wyatt family. Probably not. Rowan's busy. Harper's not around.
All of a sudden, Hirschfield knows what he's talking about.
Finn Balor. They never really finished that one up.
Is Finn in the ladder? Okay, you say Finn Balor. I say Matt Hardy.
I'm not saying anybody. I refuse to commit to this. I have to rethink it. I want to know everybody else's opinion.
But mine's no good.
Yours is good. I don't think that. I think Matt's gone for a little while.
I changed my mind. I think it's going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I think it's going to be. I was just going to say. I think it's Goldberg.
CM Punk.
Dean Ambrose.
No,
it's been a work.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Kenny Omega.
Roman Reigns?
I mean, he's involved on Sunday.
We'll have to wait and see.
Is there anything?
Maybe it's Matt Hardy.
Right,
I don't know.
Jerry wants to hear everyone's predictions except for mine for who will be Bray's first feud.
I want to hear yours. I just don't agree with it. It's okay. I just don't agree with it.
Jerry will make fun of nobody on the post show except for me and my choice for Bray's first opponent.
Happy birthday, Dr. Death, Steve Williams.
Future Hall of Famer.
Happy birthday, Zack Ryder.
For myself and my tag team partner, the judgmental Jerry Valeri.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
We should be back tomorrow right here on Post to Post.
It's not Matt Hardy. It's not.